justice system. We come together not as partisans or politicians, but as legal professionals and concerned citizens to say that justice must remain independent, principled, and immune from political manipulation. Let me be clear, the threats we're responding to are real. Judges are facing intimidation and even threats for making rulings that some find politically inconvenient. Lawyers are being punished, even sanctioned, for the simple act of representing their clients. And the public's trust in our courts is being undermined by rhetoric that prioritizes partisanship over principle. When judges feel forced to look over their shoulders, and when lawyers worry that representing someone zealously in court might cost them their career, the system begins to fracture. We cannot let that happen. That's why we're here, not just to raise our voices, but to show with our presence that we're willing to stand up for the institutions that make justice possible. As members of the legal profession, we have sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution and to faithfully serve the cause of justice. That oath doesn't expire, it doesn't bend with political opinion, and it doesn't shrink in the face of intimidation. We're here today to protect that system. The rule of law means something. It means that The rule of law means something. It means that no person, not even the most powerful, is above it. It means that courts must base their decisions on facts and law, not fear or political pressure. And it means that attorneys must be able to speak up and stand up for their clients without fear, intimidation, censorship, or retribution. This isn't abstract. These principles directly affect our communities, our clients, and our country. I hope you'll join me and attorneys across Dallas and across the country in reaffirming our commitment to justice, not just today, but every day. If you're a member of the public here today, thank you. You don't have to be a lawyer to care about this. You just have to care about fairness, about democracy, about your rights and your neighbor's rights. This is your fight too. So what comes next? Speak up when judicial independence is undermined. Educate your community about why a fair and impartial court system is essential. Support efforts that preserve access to justice and protect the rights of all people, not just the privileged or the powerful. And most of all, stay engaged. Democracy is not a spectator sport. Benjamin Franklin was famously asked at the close of the Constitutional Convention in 1787, "Well, doctor, what have we got? A republic or a monarchy?" He responded, "A republic, if you can keep it." Let this be one of the ways we keep it. Let this be the start, not just of a day of action, but of a deeper recommitment to our values as legal professionals and as citizens. Thank you for being here. Thank you for using your voice. And thank you for helping to protect the rule of law for all of us. Next, I'd like to introduce attorney Cheryl Whatley. That's CHERYLWATTLEY. She began her career as an assistant U.S. attorney in the District of Connecticut, representing the United States in civil litigation. She later transferred to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas here in Dallas, where she focused on the prosecution of white-collar crime, serving as chief of the Economic Crimes Unit. She served on a variety of civic and professional boards and committees, including the State Bar of Texas Board of Disciplinary Appeals, the District 6 Grievance Committee, the Dallas Bar Foundation, and the Board of Regents for Texas Women's University. She is a frequent speaker and panelist, participating in presentations with the Dallas Women's Leadership Symposium, the American Board of Trial Advocates, and other community and legal organizations. She would take up the time we have here today, but I'm going to let you hear from her directly. Please welcome Cheryl Whatley.
Thank you for your presence here this afternoon. As I stand here today as a lawyer, not representing any institution or organization, I am reminded that almost 45 years ago, in a small courtroom in that federal courthouse behind us, I stood to take my oath as an assistant United States attorney. It was the second time that my young career that I would take that oath, but this time it was different. This time the judge who would administer that oath was an icon and a historic figure. Because for my generation, one of our defining moments was the assassination of President John F. Kennedy just a few blocks from here. And we had watched on TV a small, diminutive woman who looked even smaller against the towering image of Lyndon Johnson swear him in as president. And years later, that judge, Sarah T. Hughes, would swear me in as an assistant United States attorney. I am remembering this today because the image of Judge Hughes administering the oath of office to a man about to embark on the highest office in this country, and my memory of her administering the oath to me, symbolizes that which connects the highest office to every federal servant. We are bound together by our oaths. My first obligation as a prosecutor was captured in the words, to support the Constitution. It's included in many oaths, and it's particularly in the Texas Attorney's Oath. Support the Constitution. It tells us within its very wording that one of the reasons the Constitution was written as it was to establish justice. Capital J, justice. Establish justice. Words so easily spoken, but yet it is a mandate to us. A call that should be uniquely important to attorneys. It was clear to me that as a prosecutor, I had a special obligation to be impartial, to be fair, to exercise my authority and discretion with integrity. Never, ever as a tool of power to exact retribution or retaliation. Established justice does not include the use of criminal prosecution to manipulate an elected official. It does not support the use or threat of criminal investigation to silence or intimidate political opponents or adversaries. It does not permit bully tactics that threaten the independence of the legal profession and the judiciary. It does not sanction the disregard and abandonment of due process and fundamental procedures. So what does established justice, capital J, mean? What does it require? It requires an embrace of the rule of law. The belief that everyone is accountable under the law, fairly and impartially applied. It is the simple but profound principle that no one, no individual, no matter your wealth, no matter your prestige, no matter your position, no institution, no government is above the law. That is what protects us from the abuse of power. And that is what demands respect for an independent judiciary. And that is what lawyers are called upon to protect. On that day, so many years ago, I promised also to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That promise makes us recognize that the threats do not always come from outside our borders, that there may be persons from within our own country who would seek to weaken and perhaps destroy the pillars of our liberty. That promise obligated me to stand up, to guard against those who would undermine the establishment of justice, to stand as a shield against those who would try to destroy our democratic institutions. As we stand here today under these kind of threatening stormy clouds, there's a darkness over the rule of law. an effort to dim our foundational principles, but are coming together here in Dallas and across the nation to celebrate the rule of law is the light that will shine through this darkness. Our commitment, our understanding that lawyers have a unique and special obligation to be on the front line, to constantly strive for the establishment of capital J justice, will break through these clouds and repel those efforts. We understand the mission. We hear the call. And we know that our silence is complicity. And so we are here with our presence and our voices and our public recommitment to the attorney's oath. So let me end my remarks this morning with the closing words of the oath that I took those so many years ago, when I pledged to support, protect, and defend the Constitution, and with words that conclude our Texas attorney's oath. So help me God. Amen.
Thank you so much. I'd like to welcome up Judge Dominique Collins. That's DOMINIQUECOLLINS. Judge Dominique Collins presides over Dallas County Criminal District Court Number 4. She also oversees the Dallas County Veterans Court, which gives justice-involved veterans who complete treatment of their combat-related PTSD an opportunity to have their cases dismissed and expunged. Prior to first being elected in 2012, Judge Collins served Dallas County as Assistant District Attorney and has extensive experience handling both felony and criminal cases. She received her law degree from St. Mary's University in San Antonio and will be here to share a few words and then administer the oath to any attorneys that are here who would like to symbolically retake the oath. And on a personal note, I consider myself very honored and lucky that Judge Collins agreed to administer the attorney oath to me back when I passed the Texas bar nearly 10 years ago, and she was also kind enough to officiate at my wedding 7 years ago, so both still going good with both of those, so please welcome Judge Dominique Collins.
Travis is trying to make me cry. What are we doing next? So it's an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. As far as I'm concerned, the sun is shining very brightly. Those ain't clouds. Super excited to be doing this with you. I've done this hundreds of times, but following on the heels of Ms. Watley's words, it's extra special. Thank you for that. All right, Texas lawyers, you all ready?
Yes.
All right, put up your right hands. All right, I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, that I will honestly demean myself in the practice of law, that I will discharge my duties to my clients to the best of my ability, that I will conduct myself with integrity and in civility in dealing and communicating with the courts and all parties. Help me God.
Help me God.
With civility. Remember that part.
Thank you again to Judge Collins. So we wanted to keep this short for everybody over the lunch hour, but as I said at the beginning, this is only the start. We have more work that is coming up and that's ahead of us. Please, if you RSVP for the event, we have your contact info. If you haven't, please visit dallasforruleoflaw.com. This is a volunteer organization that needs more attorney volunteers, people in the legal profession, and public support. You can also scan the QR code that's on these signs, or go to lawyers4theruleoflaw.com if you're an attorney to sign on to a statement that is national. There's over 40 states represented, attorneys from 40 states, and I think we just hit 500 signatories today. So please sign on to there. There's still more work to do, but I think this is a great start for here in Dallas and across the nation. And a quick thank you to our sponsors, including Rudner Law Offices and Gasper Law. Thank you again. We'll be in touch. And as we said, this is only the beginning. Thank you, Dallas.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, you are?
I see everybody.
I have quite a collection of signs
All right, good
now.
for you.
So, my daughter made this one for me
Good.
last night.
Good. She did a good job. She did a good job.
So I'm